So 308, today we're talking about some standouts in yesterday's matchup between Carolina and Washington, game four. And now we have Carolina, they lead the series 3-1, and they're heading back to Washington with the series up now. So in terms of how Carolina played, I think it was just an overall great effort from them and just well contributed from all sides and being able to generate offensively. Obviously, scoring 5 goals is really important, but I think the goals came from a lot of their guys that you don't necessarily hear about as often. And outside of Seth Jarvis, you got a goal from Shane Gostisbehere. It was a really nice goal walking the line on Brandon Duham. And then you get a goal from Sean Walker coming off the rush, off a feed from Taylor Hall on the breakout pass. And then Taylor Hall gets a goal as well, and just really nice shots, really nice finesse ways of shooting the puck and being able to generate offense. And I thought they were just very engaged offensively right from the get-go. And being able to generate a lot of chances comes with a lot of volume. And if you're Carolina, you want to have a little bit of both because they're known as a relentless team, not only in their forecheck, but also how they generate shot attempts. And I think they were doing an excellent job of that yesterday, creating a lot of volume, but also creating a lot of quality in terms of their chances and how they were creating their volume. So it was really nice to see. And then a lot of guys in Carolina I thought were really noticeable, really over half their lineup had points and were on the score sheet throughout this game. It just goes to show the depth that they had throughout this game. And when their depth gets going in tandem with their star offensive guys, they're really hard to stop. And then you also had a goal from Andrei Svechnikov on the empty netter, and just a lot of guys involved. Like it was Jordan Martin who gets buried Kotkaniemi, I thought was noticeable. Dmitry Orlov was noticeable in terms of two-way play, transition play, and physicality. They have Eric Robinson, Jack Roslovic, like all these guys who I thought were really noticeable. Of course, Jordan Staal has to be in that mix because I think he's one of the league's more underrated shutdown and matchup centers in terms of how he plays the game. He plays hard, but he also plays very tenacious, very physical, very engaged two-way player, mostly defensive minded, but can bring some offense and chip in offensively when need be. I think he provides that little bit of sustained impact. I thought Seth Jarvis was really awesome. And in talking about Seth Jarvis, I think what really stands out the most in talking about him is his ability to generate offense off the rush and in transition, using his speed, really weaponizing that. Same thing ever since he was drafted coming out of junior, he's always had that all-around ability. But I think what was really intriguing about his game was how he was able to weaponize that transition and rush game and how it's translated to Carolina. It's been a seamless fit for him. He's turned into one of the league's more, I wouldn't say underrated at this point. I think everybody really knows about him and his game. I think he's still underrated in a sense because he plays in Carolina, and you don't necessarily hear about those guys as often. But I think Seth Jarvis is a guy that was just awesome to watch yesterday. And as a two-way player, as a transition player, as a player up ice, being able to generate offense, being able to be reliable defensively, and just being able to be an impact offensive guy and an impact all-around player. And then Shane Gostisbehere, like we touched on, I thought he had a really nice finesse goal, being able to walk the line a little bit, keep the puck onside, and then maneuver to the end boards and the corner area of the offensive zone. And he's gonna able to get a shot on net, and then it goes through, beats Logan Thompson. Really nice shot, really nice choice of shot. And Shane Gostisbehere's excellent transition as an offensive-minded D as well. Sebastian Aho, really tenacious, really engaged as a forechecker, and not only being able to check, but also be reliable defensively, be a shutdown guy, be a guy who can play in all situations. He was very key for them throughout this game and very reliable in all facets of the game. For Washington, Jacob Chikrin was really noticeable. I really liked his offensive ability, his puck movement, his outlets, his breakouts, his ability to outlet pucks from D zone, and his ability to move the play up ice and his ability to engage the play in the offensive zone. I thought he was really effective there. He was doing a great job. Pierre-Luc Dubois, who I've always really noticed as a transition player, but also on entries. I think his entry play is really underrated in his game. How he's able to maneuver across the ozone, how he's able to maneuver pressure, and how coordinated he is at being able to maneuver those situations and being able to do it pretty freely and pretty easily. Something that is one of his bigger strengths and how he's able to do it on a regular basis. I thought that Dylan Strome was noticeable. Alex Ovechkin, of course, was noticeable as well. But I think if the Capitals were to win this game, they needed to be able to have offense from all their guys. I don't think they necessarily got that. And I think it was something where they were able to rely on some of their guys for offense, but not necessarily a ton of them. So I think it was important that Ovi scored and Chikrin scored and Dubois got on the board and Strome was on the board, but I think they needed more offense from more of their depth as well, and especially the guys you don't necessarily hear as much about. I think their third line was a little quiet this game, and obviously their fourth line's their fourth line. You don't necessarily want to rely on your fourth line. You'd like to rely on them for some scoring here and there, and usually every 2 games or so, every 3 games, something like that. But you don't have to rely upon them all the time. I just think that they need a little bit more from their top nine and how they're able to produce offensively, defensively, be able to be reliable in transition. And heading back to Washington, it could be a different series. It could change a little bit, but I'd be curious to see how things shape up heading back to Washington now.